for me, so the thing is, I work for around 12 to 14 hours a day.
Mm-hmm.
So that means from on an average day, I'm out of the house at 6 a.m. and I'm not back before 7. So almost 13 hours of my day goes at work. So I found out about top 1% from two of my seniors from college who also studied with top. And both of them got a 700. So they were writing the old GMAT. They got a 700 and one went to LSE and one went to LBS. So
Excellent.
I was like, okay, fine. Like top is the way for me from there now.
Okay.
Yeah, no doubt. I kind of thought I had quant partly in the bag, at least in the start.
Mm-hmm.
Because honestly, I just read of the terms of algebra and your equations and all of it. And for me, honestly, in my head, I thought, okay, this is 10th, 12th maths. Like, wow, how hard can it be? Until I actually solved my first mock and I got 20% accuracy in quant. So that's when I knew, okay, now this is trouble.
Uh,
Because
First of all, congratulations on the brilliant score. You have a
thank you so
GMAT
much.
5. Yeah, that's overall 98 percentile. So that's a brilliant score,
Yeah.
at the least.
Yeah.
And you have a 94 percentile in the quant, you have a 76 percentile in the verbal, you have a 98 percentile in the data insights. So that's overall that's phenomenal, and that should be good enough for almost any school. So congratulations on that.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. And when was this exam conducted? Is it recent or is it
So yeah, I think it's been over 2 months now. I gave it on Feb 22nd,
okay?
my GMAT. And yeah, by Feb 23rd, I had received my official report as well.
Got it. So, was it a bit of a surprise when you actually got the score, or you were expecting a similar score?
Actually, it was very unexpected because 2 weeks, like, so I was on leave for 2 weeks right before the exam, and I kind of gave my first diagnostic mock, which top has after you finish your whole course. And I kind of scored a 575 there.
Okay.
And honestly, my mocks weren't going too fine because it was always a 575, a 565, a 535, a 545. So honestly, I was struggling a lot in quants, especially the mock. So I kind of dedicated most of my time to quants.
Got
And yeah, so I was just going with the mindset that okay, fine, I want to cross a 645 for now. So yeah, honestly, like when I saw 695 on the screen, like I was taken aback a lot because I really didn't expect
it.
reaching that mark. With the progress that I've kind of had in the last 2 weeks. But I guess yeah, the last 2 weeks worked out pretty well.
Of course, it did, and it's season score. So yeah. Since we're also talking for the first time, we can start off with you telling us a little bit about yourself, a brief introduction maybe, and what led you to start this GMAT journey, and or an MBA, the idea of the MBA, and also how you came to know about top 1%.
Right. Um, so honestly, yeah, firstly about me, my name is Neel. I have kind of done my bachelor's in business administration from St. Joseph's College of Commerce, Bangalore, and I am currently a senior analyst in the investment banking division at Goldman Sachs. Um, Honestly, yeah, coming to what made me want to do an MBA is I wanted to kind of go abroad to study because I wanted international exposure. I knew the amount of opportunities that were there. And I knew for a fact that no matter how long I stay where I am, I wouldn't see a bigger jump, and an MBA was necessary to give me that jump. And of course, aside from all of the international exposure, etc., I wanted to meet new people, network with people.
Mm-hmm.
And I felt like, okay, irrespective of where an MBA took me, somewhere inside, I also wanted to go back to the college life after like all the working years. But yeah, honestly, yeah, like this year I'll be completing 2 years in Goldman. So that's when I knew, okay, fine, I kind of hit the threshold and I wanted to like make a jump now.
Got it. Understood. And when you came to know about top 1%,
So I found out about top 1% from two of my seniors from college who also studied with top. And both of them got a 700. So they were writing the old GMAT. They got a 700 and one went to LSE and one went to LBS. So
excellent.
I was like, okay, fine. Like top is the way for me from there now.
Okay. And when did you register for the top?
So I registered in July 2024,
Okay.
but of
Yes.
course I kind of started studying a little later. So
Yeah. Okay.
aside
So
from that.
yeah. So when you initially started your prep, what would you say was were the weaker areas of yours? Like, was it verbal or was it quant thing? Uh, or was it both?
Right. I'd say it was both.
Hmm.
Somehow I felt initially that okay, quant would have been my stronger suite. Until a little later where I realized that quant was my much weaker suite. But
Okay.
of course, for me in the start, verbal seemed kind of harder than quant.
Hmm.
So I
Okay.
mean, eventually, yeah, I picked up verbals pretty well,
Hmm.
but I feel like kind of like neglected quant a bit. But eventually, I picked that up as well.
Okay. So initially, when you were facing trouble with verbal, can you tell how you were able to overcome that particular phase of improving your accuracy in verbal and getting confident with the
Right.
probability of those doing those questions?
So with verbals, honestly, Sandeep sir's octave is just the way for me.
Hmm.
No doubt, yeah, like I had a bit of struggles here and there initially in applying the whole concept. But the amount of questions that we were exposed to in terms of the class sessions, in terms of the mocks, and the various sectional tests also that are there that top provides, um, it kind of got a little easier to identify, where your correct answer is, how to eliminate the wrong answers, etc.
Hmm.
No doubt, verbals kind of got a bit tricky for me in the actual exam,
Hmm.
but undoubtedly, like I wouldn't have reached even that mark without all the strategies provided by Sandeep sir for verbals especially.
Got it. Got it.
So
And,
yeah,
yeah. And so you were saying, but so that's verbal. And with quant, you were saying that it felt lagging because you started neglecting quant in the initial phase. Was that the case? So
yeah,
how did you actually started picking up? Because that might have happened with a lot of folks, especially the engineer folks who might go in the entire prep in a very overconfident kind of scenario.
yeah.
So, how you were able to overcome that particular phase?
Um, Right. So, like I mentioned, yeah, no doubt, I kind of thought I had quant partly in the bag, at least in the start,
Hmm.
because honestly, I just read of the terms of algebra and your equations and all of it. And for me, honestly, in my head, I thought, okay, this is 10th, 12th maths. Like, wow, how hard can it be? Until I actually solved my first mock and I got 20% accuracy in quant. So that's when I knew, okay, now this is trouble.
Uh-huh.
Because my recommendation would be not to underestimate it. Because no doubt the concepts are simple, but the whole point of applying those concepts in GMAT is to do it as fast as possible in the shortest way possible with equal amount of accuracy.
Hmm.
So yes, so in the last 2 weeks that I had 2 weeks before my exam, the first week I went through the whole bridge course. There was, I think, Aman teaching, and the way he took across with the concepts. This time I kind of put in 200% into paying attention into cons, and the way he taught the whole bridge course, the extra questions, and the amount of sectional tests as well as topic-wise tests that I covered through the top portal,
Hmm.
that really helped me in like gaining a lot of confidence in terms of attempting quant. And honestly, throughout my mocks, I think the one place I noticed was my quant's accuracy started improving. Like initially it was like 28%, then it went up to 40, like, and then I saw a great jump to around 60, 65. And
Hmm.
eventually I started clocking in the 80, 90s figures.
Okay.
So yeah, honestly, like the the whole bridge course for quant was really greatly put across. And yeah, like honestly, kudos to Aman for the amount of teaching and the way he's covered the concepts.
Great, great. And that's great to hear, actually. And in terms of DI, was it also an issue, or you were able to get a hang of DI in a very short period of time?
So throughout my mocks, DI honestly wasn't much of an issue.
Hmm.
I'd say like my weakness in verbals and quants was kind of playing off into DI. Like in verbals, I kind of struggled with critical reasoning a lot, and honestly, that is somewhere where I lost a lot of points as well in the actual test. And that kind of also had an effect on DI because DI had a few critical reasoning questions.
Yeah.
I'd say yeah, like DI honestly was fine for me,
Mm.
but I did not expect to do this well in DI in the actual exam. Like
Okay.
I honestly thought verbals would be a bit higher and DI would be much lower. But yeah, it was the complete opposite. So yeah, I mean, honestly, like Sandeep sir mentioned throughout the whole courses, the whole point is you get your foundations right with verbals and quants, and that's how DI kind of improves on its own because it's a mix of those concepts. So of course, like yeah, and also like I feel like I was a little motivated after quants in the paper, so I kind of paid more attention to DI as well.
Got it. Got it. Yeah. So, you were you able to use the entire resources that were given by the DI, all the test and everything?
Right. I wasn't able to exactly because of the fact that firstly I know I enrolled the course in July, but I
Hmm.
had a lot of things come in between and I had to buy an extension as well into the course.
Okay.
So I kind of started studying only in November. So I had studied for around 2 months, 3 months, and this was along with work. So for me, I honestly wasn't able to tap into all the resources that were provided, like irrespective of verbal quant, and in this case, DI as well.
Mm-hmm.
But no doubt the PDFs were really helpful. I know, like, I couldn't tap into the whole of the mock portal in terms of all the tests,
Mm-hmm.
but something that I focused more on, considering the limited time that I had,
Yeah.
was the PDFs, especially like, with the data sufficiency, I think 456 or something, that PDF with all the hard questions for data sufficiency. And so that was really helpful. So I'd say, like, even for someone who's on a time crunch, the
Mm-hmm.
PDFs should be the core focus, because like they kind of tap into like a crazy part of, like, of the toughest questions of GMAT. So yeah.
Understood, understood. That's great. Yeah, and since you're saying that you actually started your serious rigorous prep, let's put it that way, from November
Right,
itself.
right.
How are you managing your entire working hours and studying hours? Just to get a general idea, like on the weekdays basis and the weekends also.
Right. Honestly, it was a push, no doubt. For me, so the thing is, I work for around 12 to 14 hours a day.
Mm-hmm.
So that means, from on an average day, I'm out of the house at 6 a.m. and I'm not back before 7. So almost 13 hours of my day goes at work. So honestly, yeah, it was just the mindset for me towards the end, because again, since I started rigorous prep only in November, I knew I had limited time,
Yeah.
considering the fact that I wanted to give the exam in January or February of 2025. And it wasn't essentially in focus of a particular intake, but it was in focus that I'm actually currently studying for my CFA level 2, which is in August.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to give ample amount of time to the next test. So I had a deadline in my mind to give the test by Jan or Feb, so that I have a small break and I start preparing for my next exam.
Mm-hmm.
So of course it was tough to balance both with work, your personal commitments and studies. But honestly, just looking at, like, a lot of my friends studying abroad, um and looking at, like, I was kind of motivated with the career jump I wanted. I was kind of motivated, looking at a lot of my peers studying abroad.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, one major factor of motivation for me um, was that, like, this is something I've committed into, and there's no getting out of it now. So I kind
Mm-hmm.
of had that mindset. So yeah, I mean, essentially, it was just internal motivation that kind of drove me to balance both of it. There's honestly no other shortcut out of it. Like, in my opinion, if you want it, then you can always make time to work for it. So yeah, I used to study like 1, 2 hours during the weekdays, if at all I'm not tired. The days I'm back early, that would be like around 3 hours. Weekends, yeah, I would sit for around 10 to 12 hours studying for it. And of course, 2 weeks before my exam, when I was on leave, I'd spend 12 to 14 hours each day studying, apart from a day or two before the exam.
Perfect, perfect. Yeah, that's true. If you can find time, I mean, if you can find time, it's pretty doable. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Right. And since you were on the time crunch, how many number of mocks that you were able to give?
Right.
Like,
So in terms of the mocks, honestly, again, I don't think it was advised to do so many, but I
mhm.
gave all the mocks that were there in the portal,
Yeah.
as well as the 2 mocks that you get from GMAT once you
Okay.
register on the GMAT website.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, I finished all of those mocks. I think there were 9 mocks on the portal,
Yeah.
and 2 mocks that were there from GMAT. So honestly, the mocks kind of set the benchmark for me on where I need to improve now,
Mm-hmm.
and how I need to see myself progressing before the test day. So my motivation, honestly, right before the test day was when I got like a 560, sorry, a 645 or a 655 in the top mock. So that's
Mm-hmm.
when I knew, okay, fine, I am set to some extent for the GMAT exam, because the mocks kind of tease your brain um, to great extents. So
Mm-hmm.
that my goal was to finish all those mocks to get exposure to as many questions as I can.
Got it. Understood. Yeah. And coming on to your exam day, the experience was quite similar compared to what you were able to do in your mocks, or the questions or the content itself was quite different or something that was out of the ordinary.
So honestly, I have to give it to top 1%. The mock portal was exactly the same. And I would say, like, I'll I know I understand that the mock portal even specified that, you have this much time for a break and everything in the top one. And it was exactly the same on the day of the test. So I did have to, like, kind of figure out how this portal works, or waste
Mm-hmm.
time on, trying to understand how to mark questions or how to go to the next question. Nothing as on such sorts. So honestly, like I would say 50% of your confidence comes if you know you're familiar with the software that's working, because sometimes
Yeah.
you're thinking more on how to navigate through stuff rather than the question. And top 1%'s mock portal kind of took that away. So I was essentially able to focus on the test itself rather than, shuffling around for various other things. So it was a very smooth test experience, obviously, thanks to the mock portal that you guys provided. So that worked out pretty well in my favor there.
I'm glad. I'm glad. Yeah. Thank you for that feedback.
Absolutely.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I mean, that's the aim that we go for. So thank you for that.
No, absolutely. Like I honestly started recommending people to take up with the top 1% only because of the fact that, like, the
Mhm.
amount of resources they provide and all of it, like the amount of resources, the guidance, Sandeep Sir's teaching, and the mock portal. Like honestly, that's the biggest selling point, the mock portal. Because I don't think any other any other provider has such an exact replica of the mock portal. But at least from experience, yeah, I found this great.
That's great. That's great to hear, actually. Yeah. And since now you are on the other side of the exam prep, are there any do's and don'ts that you would like to share to the future test takers who would be watching this video later on or recently who are actually preparing right now?
Um, Do's and don'ts. Honestly, from my experience, first thing, yeah, like do not underestimate any section, no matter what your experience might be in the past. Because essentially, I believe that if you start focusing on just one section, thinking
Mm-hmm.
that you have the other section in the bag, um, hopefully it wouldn't be until too late that you realize that all of them need to be given equal weightage, because sometimes like you can tend to get overconfident about one part of the exam.
Mm-hmm.
So of course, yeah, give equal weightage to all of it. Um, from my experience, of course, start off rigorous study much earlier. Give
Mm-hmm.
yourself ample amount of time to
Yeah.
honestly um, take over, or like give ample amount of time to go through all resources possible that top 1% is providing. Because if I had to go back and change one thing, I would have changed, like I would have just started studying earlier, much more rigorously, so
Mm-hmm.
that I would have had ample amount of time to go through all resources. And probably the verbal might be a little higher than,
Mm-hmm.
so it might have helped me cross that 700 mark. But and of course, like there are going to be times when you might be beat with the amount of information that's there, with the amount of you know content that you have to go through, and you might be more importantly beat because sometimes your mocks wouldn't have gone as well as you expected.
Mm-hmm.
But I would say, like, yeah, kind of take it as a learning, see what to focus on, because we get a very good detailed report after the mock. So focus on those areas and just have like a calm mind and give the exam. Because of course, like again, everything comes down to hard work, and yep, that's about it.
Of course, that's true. Yeah. Thanks, Neil, for those great pointers. And so, as of now, what is your plan? Because I think you were planning to give your CFA in August. So, are you planning for
Right.
the September intake, September round one itself, or are you targeting next year?
Right. So as of now, yeah, I am writing my CFA level 2 in August. So I kind of have the prep going on for it. In terms of intake, I am considering the 27 intake. So that means I
Okay.
would start applying next year,
Okay.
because I'm still weighing out my option if whether or not I want to give a second attempt and
Okay.
probably pull up my score to the 735, 745 regions.
Mm-hmm.
So that's something I'm weighing out, and that's something I take a decision on post my CFA, because that's something I want to currently focus on.
Yeah.
So of course, and at the same time, I'm kind of weighing out 2027 because I'll have more like work experience to show
Exactly.
as
Yeah.
well.
I was about to say that. Yeah.
Right. So yeah, I'm able to build a better profile than
Exactly.
currently. So that's something I'm weighing out. But yeah, the scales are kind of tipped towards 2027 at the moment. So hopefully, if I should be giving a second attempt, and of course, I will be coming back to top 1% for the same. But let's see now how it goes.
Of course. Yeah. Yeah. Whatever journey that is, I think you are in a very good position as of now. You have a great score, and
Right.
so whatever goes your way, it's going to be good. So all the best for those
Yep.
things that you're planning on. So yeah, and
Yeah.
we'll be and keep you updated if something good news does come up. We'll be in
Sure
touch.
thing.
I've already connected you on LinkedIn, and you can always reach out to me for anything. Okay.
Great, great. Yeah. Thank you so much, Anurag. We'll keep you posted, of course.
Sure, Neil. Okay, Neil. It was great talking to you. Congratulations again for a great score. And
Thank you so much.
yeah, thank you for your
Likewise.
time and have a great day.
Yep. You too.
Yeah,
See ya.
bye-bye.
Bye bye.